forever, and I've got to make my decision. This time it could be my moment. Is this a mirage or a chance to fulfill my mission? A river in a dry land, the left is in a lost land, a heartbeat for a demon, a wages in a siege land. I'm given the balance, but I'm standing on razor's edge now. What quick, all my life is over. One strike just of pain, then I'm out of his field of vision. Don't ask why I'm ready, but I'm ready to strike him down now. I just saw the new stars, there's no time for indecision. A river in a dry land, the left is in a lost hand. When the hope of new beginnings burned our feet, now we need it, a heartbeat for demon, oasis in a siege land. Remind us what we're here for, creating new life, creating rivers in the desert. My heart is a furnace, had a selling my word of conflict. One goes what keeps me going. Take back what I lost to the bosses of greed and fear. Yeah. Don't ask why I'm ready, but I'm ready to take them down now. The time for a new start is constantly drawing nearer. A river in a dry land, the left is in a lost hand. When the hope of new beginnings burned our feet, now we need it, a heartbeat for demon, oasis in a siege land. Remind us what we're here for, creating new life, creating rivers in the desert. When a cool drop of water's all I need, gotta clear my head of anger and greed. A place to refresh heart and mind. Can I find some time? And rivers and a dry land, the left is a lost land. When the hope of new beginnings burned our feet, now we need it, a heartbeat for demon, oasis in a siege land. Remind us what we're here for, creating new life, creating rivers in the desert.
Hi there. It's like I haven't seen you guys in a while or something. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this year's Top 10 Games of the Year show. Not much has changed since the last time we did this. There's been plenty of games that have come out this year. Many of which I've played, some of which I have not. It's been actually, I would say, actually a pretty decent year for for like just gaming in general and for the games that I like to play. And I definitely found some new things that I liked this year, as well as definitely revisited and liked some old favorites. So, without further ado, we're going to see if I can do this correctly and it doesn't break on the first slide, or the first slide, yeah, on the first try here. What's up, Bob Terry? How you doing, bud? Yeah, see, it just does that every single time. I don't know why it does that. Weird. Oh, I don't know why. It's kind of a slideshow, but we're going to see if this thing decides to not immediately show the number 10 game, because it just kind of does that. But, you know, so we're going to see if it just immediately shows the number 10 game, but we'll find out. Hey, it didn't do it. Hey, we're in the clear, baby. Slide 1, right? So, hey, if you guys have seen this before, this is pretty familiar. The way that we do things here is we basically, this top 10 list is all games that I have played on stream in some fashion or another. And they are all, yeah, that's pretty much it. And that's basically just games that I enjoyed playing. Games that I liked, all that good stuff. So, number 10's game was a game that I have, was a style of game that I had not played in a very long time. And when I first played it on stream, I thought it was kind of slow, but I eventually came to really love its story. Yes, they all had to be released this year. That's also a good point. Thank you for reminding me about that. Can't wait for the latest Senron hit. Dude, straight up, you know it. So, number 10, like I said, was a game that I surprisingly ended up liking. I didn't think I was going to after I first started it, but I eventually ended up playing it through to the end. So, number 10's game is Vampire, of all things. Vampire. A very heavily story-driven game that eventually definitely made me think that I would... It definitely made me like a new genre of game. No, it's Vampire. It's definitely Vampire. I remember Black Panther came out in February, right? This is a very story-driven game where the choices that you made really impacted everything that you did for the rest of the game, as well as the fact that you could just kill anyone that you came across. Well, almost anyone that you talked to. So, it really, and the character's actual, like, complexion and, like, the way that he acted toward people changed as you made decisions of how you were going to deal with people throughout the game. Dot Hack was not this year. While this game did lack in the in the combat aspect, it definitely made up for it in its storytelling and was again a surprising game for me, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed its story a lot. It would have probably been up higher on the list if its actual combat had been more interesting and more in depth. So, yeah. So, moving on to number 9. Now, number 9's game. I played in early access quite a bit, and it finally came out, and I managed to get to play it when it came out. And the changes that they made to this game really leveled it up into a game that I knew I was going to enjoy. Hold on, let me move the chat so I can see you guys while I do this other shit. This will be much easier for me. There we go. That'll be simpler. Fortnite. Yes, it's obviously Fortnite. Obviously. But number 9 is Dead Cells. What a actually incredibly fun action game. One of the few one of the few roguelike games that I actually very much did enjoy. Its gameplay loop was enough that it made me want to go back and play it more. And I still do, because they've continued to update it. That's probably one of the biggest things, is that this company, through all the early access, updated the game and actually made changes that were good. That's probably one of the biggest things for me that they did, was that made this game be in the top 10 list. Was they actually made changes that made sense, that added to the experience, and that were good. And fuck your microtransactions. Yeah, screw your microtransactions, man. But yeah, I love the weapons in this game. I love the new system that they added for how you upgraded your skills and your damage and everything was really well done from the way that they did it in the beginning. I really just liked how they completely just made the game better and better as time went on in early access and when it finally came out. So definitely deserving of its number 9 spot. So moving on. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna move that over here. And moving on to number 8. Now number 8 is from a genre that has long been, in my opinion, on the downturn. But this game stood out for just making me, like, actually... The decisions that I had to make in this game in order to complete the story for it that I had were just so good, and just it made you really have to make hard decisions in order to really to move forward and to actually win. And surprisingly, I actually one-shot this game. What could it be? No one knows what it could be, but it is none other than Frostpunk. Your choices matter. Talk about a game where your choices matter, and I almost, like, died in the end, but this game not only did the, like, I really just liked the city builder aspect to it. Yeah, it's gonna, you'll like it. Wonder if Immortal Unchained will make top 5. Bro, you know it will. So Frostpunk is a city builder game where you are basically the leader of a group of survivors who have this generator that generates heat, and you have to attempt to survive. You basically survive the winter, and you go through all these different city building aspects and micromanagement of different aspects of like people's food, you know, making sure they don't die, giving, you know, all that stuff. Well, BFA top 3, dude, you don't even know what's in the top 3. A colony, yeah. But I really like this game. Not to mention the music, as you can hear in the background. The music for this game was just so good. Banished, but with... Yeah. There's like a hard mode that I haven't played in this game that I really want to eventually play. So, yep. But yeah, Frostpunk is number 8. God, I could listen to that song. I could listen to that song all day. All right. So moving on to number 7. Moving ourselves along here. Talk about another type of game that I had never played before that caught me off guard and I really enjoyed. And also talk about a game where your choices matter. There's really no other introduction that this game needs other than that. So clogging itself in at number 7 is Detroit Become Human. It's Uzume. Robots everywhere. Cleveland become human. Dude, I'd be all for that. I would be so in. So, I haven't really ever played a real, like, just sort of, it's literally like you're playing a movie, and it's a choose your own, almost like a choose your own adventure / your choices matter kind of game. I haven't really played one of those to, like, an extensive level, but playing this definitely made me want to do more of those kind of games. So, not to mention the, I mean, the story was good. It wasn't, like, incredible, but it was good. And not to mention the ending that we ended up getting in my playthrough. I messed up so bad. Oh yeah, Connor was great. I would say so. 100%. But yeah, loved it. I definitely will try to look for more of these kind of games. Hopefully they will be, I hope they live up to the standard that this game has set in my eyes for that style of game, so. Number 7 is Detroit Become Human. All right, moving on to number 6. Now, I don't think this game... Dude, I don't even know. This game, more games need to do what this game did. Really, more games need to do what this game did and need to do this style of gameplay, because it's the first one that has had this form of seamless connectivity in terms of gameplay, and I wish more companies did it. But number 6 is A Way Out. This game showed me what you can do if you have actual good co-op. And you can play a story with 2 separate people in the same game, and you can do it well. Like, and the way that they did it was different for me. Like, the way that they had the split screen but you could play it online, that was sick. I love that. It's not something people really do anymore. Like, you could say, like, Borderlands and all those games do that, but this really had its own different level of cinematic work in it that really just separated it from anything else I had ever played that was co-op. And I have to say that letting Sam fall off a cliff was hilarious. So, also, fuck the Oscars. But yeah. What's up, Waco? How you doing, buddy? We're going through a top 10 right now, so... Anyway, moving along. Definitely a game, Also, one thing that they did in that game is they made it so that if one person has the game, the other person doesn't need to buy it. And that was an incredible... that was a really good choice. Because I could just buy the game, and then I could have any of my friends play it with me. They don't have to own it, too. Which is a really smart idea. So, that was number 6, A Way Out. Moving in at number 5. Number 5. Number 5 should have been higher on the list, but unfortunately, it landed short on some sections. But aside from that, I can't not love this game. I can't not, dude. It's so good. VR Chat wasn't this year, that's true. Yeah, VR Chat wasn't, like, released this year. It was released, like, forever ago. Like, way, way long ago. VR Chat isn't a game. If it's not on here, Riot. Oh. Well, regardless. What is it? Well, to answer your question, number 5 is Yakuza 6. Yeah, that game. As I said before, talk about a game that definitely had its high and lows. The new engine in this game did not go up to pars with the Yakuza 0 and Kiwami games. The combat was not as good, but the story, just because of how invested I am in the Yakuza series, the story just blew everything out of the water, dude. What's up, D4? How you doing, bud? So, also Onamichio. Yakuza 6 will always have the best sub-stories and side quests in any game ever. Don't at me. I can't, like, despite how some of the combat was, I still can't get over how good the story was for Yakuza 6. Despite how predictable some stuff was, didn't matter, was still good. Yakuza 6 is number 5. All right. So, moving on here. Moving on to number 4. Number 4 came out way early, at the very beginning of the year, and I played this game a ton. A lot. And this game gets its spot solely because of its replayability. Does I have side quests about an eggplant merchant, though? Maybe you'll have to find out, Moko. It does have a mushroom salesman. So, Diablo 3 on Switch. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But number 4 is none other than Monster Hunter World. Like I said, talk about a game that has some good-ass replayability. As someone who had never played a Monster Hunter game before, this was definitely a beginner-friendly Monster Hunter game. Considering after I had played Generations, I was like, man, some of the design decisions and quality of life decisions they made were incredible and worthwhile. Cat Chef's best part. Dude, the cats, I love the cats in Monster Hunter, but yeah. For me, it's definitely a style of game that I had never played. People would akin it to like Dark Souls, but yeah, let's not go there. Monster Hunter is in its own class of combat. I love it. It was an amazing game. So, hey, what's up, Greg? How are you, bud? Monster Hunter World! I need to play more of this game, is also the answer. So, because there's new content coming out and I need to play it more. Should dodge roll 11 phone frames? Probably. Hey, what's up, band? How are you, bud? All right. So, number 4 is Monster Hunter World. Moving on to number 3. Oh boy. Top 3, baby. By the way, just for those who don't know, I thought this was going to take longer, but it's not. It's fine, whatever. We'll get there. I have no good guesses. So, do I even need to say anything about this game? I probably do. This has been a long time coming, is all I need to say. Is that this is a long-ass time coming. It's Valkyria Chronicles 4. I bet you didn't suspect that. The 2 best parts of the game. Hey, man. Angie's the best. So, Valkyria Chronicles 4 was, like I said, a long time coming, and it definitely deserves to be where it is. Number one, for the fact that I love the Valkyria Chronicles series, and I have a ton of fun playing all the games that I did play of it. Minus one. You is a revolution. God damn it, dude. Said you would have that. That is perfect. I would definitely check out Valkyria Chronicles 4 if I were you. If anything, check out Valkyria Chronicles on Steam. It is a military tactical turn-based game that I think you'll like. If you liked turn-based strategy games, then you'll like this game. Is what I will say. But it definitely, while the story wasn't, while the story definitely was decent, it wasn't, you know, it had its moments, but it was definitely predictable. But that doesn't take away from the fact that the combat really carries this game, and just, it went back to its old ways of being good. Yeah, it's anime! What other choice would you need there? So, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is number 3. Top 2, everybody. Top 2. This one was hard. The top 2 games in my list were very, very hard to choose from. There were 3 games that were in the running. Basically, Valkyria Chronicles 4 was already at 3, and I had 3 games sitting between 1 and 2 that I was like, that I had to sit there, and I sat there and thought for a while on this. But while one game, they both have had their own sets of games from long times ago. How does that work? I basically knew where I wanted VC4 to be, and I had 3 games to choose from between 1 and 2 that I really enjoyed. Shadow of the Colossus Remaster, obviously. Dude, don't even get me started. But while this game had pretty much everything going for it, as well as the best story out of all of the top 10 games list, it only fell short on a few certain things. So number 2 is Red Dead Redemption 2. Yep. What's up, band? How are you, bud? Why is Red Dead Redemption 2 at number 2 and not number 1? That'll be explained when number 1 comes around, but Red Dead Redemption 2, like I said, has the best story out of all the games in the top 10 list. While it does have really amazing combat, and it still harkened to the olden days of Red Dead Redemption 1, it fell short, in my opinion, in a few aspects that will be explained once we get to number 1. Don't worry, I'll go over everything, don't worry. But in the meantime, we have a couple of miscellaneous things to go over first. First off, we have a couple miscellaneous awards this time around before we get to the number 1. And first up is Best Multiplayer Game. Now, these are games that did not fit the top 10 list, and these are games that are, like I said, specifically in that category that I just straight up enjoy and will play for the rest of time. And by that I mean, not for the rest of time, but for a long while. Fortnite? Bro. It's not. It's Black Ops 4. Who puts Black Ops 4 in a fucking top 10 list? I do. Why? Because it's fun. Black Ops 4 is better than Fortnite. Get wrecked. Again, this is my enjoyment of the game. This is all based off my enjoyment. And again, Smash Ultimate was in that list of best multiplayer game. But Black Ops 4 beat it out solely because I enjoy it more. Number 1 is Blobs. Well, yeah. So, this is the first Call of Duty game in many years that has actually done it right, in my opinion. Has gone back to just the good old sprinting days instead of running on walls and other dumb things like that. And it's the best BR game to be out right now, in my opinion. I think that Black Ops 4 is the best Battle Royale right now. So, yeah. Black Ops 4, huh? Man. Definitely be playing this game for a long time. So, moving on. We will be moving on to our next section, which is Best Fighting Game. Now, someone I don't know is here. I don't think he's here for it, but also it's going to break, by the way. Smash isn't a fighting game, don't at me. So, there were 2 top contenders for fighting games that I had streamed. Yes, I'm not counting Breach, Risa, because it's an alpha. It's not released yet. So, no, it's not. It isn't anywhere in any of these lists. Yeah. It's gonna break, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's fine. So, best fighting game is none other than BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle! Ruby! Hey, look, there she is! It's anime! But now without you, I'm a soul forever haunted. Can't help but feel that I had taken you for granted. No way in hell that I can never comprehend this. Honestly, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is literally like everything I could ever want from a fighting game in terms of characters, which is why I love it. And I actually had fun playing it, which is why it's in the list. The other game was Smash Ultimate and Dragon Ball FighterZ were the other 2 in the list. So I enjoyed the hell out of it. Yeah, she's just going to keep looping, by the way. Because that's what Rube does. Yeah, I love this game. I want to play more of it. And actually I have, in some cases, I have played it off stream. Just not on stream. But definitely the best fighting game that I have played on stream. And the one I've had the most fun playing. All right. Moving on. All right. Rube, out you go, girl. All right, moving on to the Tails Award for best game that didn't make the top 10. Now, the Tails Award originally was going to be for the top 10, the game that should have been in top 10, but the game that I forgot because, you know, it's basically number 11, more or less. But it is now going to be officially on this channel known as the Tails Award because I forgot about Tales of Berseria last year, and it would have been in my top 10. So we now have an award for basically the best game that doesn't make the top 10. Title says top 10, but you're doing top 11 fix. No! After I fix my frame drop. There we go. All right. So, the winner of the Tails Award, people actually probably remember this game when I first played it, is none other than fucking Girlzune Panzer, my dude. What a fun game. Also, what a frame drop. Hold on a second. Frame drop! I'm working on it. Oh, we good? Okay, I think we're good. Oh, really? So the reason that this game did not get in the top 10 was because while the multiplayer and the gameplay was super fun and I love Girls in Panzer, this game didn't have an actual story mode to it. It literally is just recounting fights from the movie and from, like, the anime. And while that's, like, cool and all, I would have rather had an actual story with it. And no, it's not the opening theme to Recess, Brian. Though, hilariously enough, it could be. So anyway, yeah. So the Tails Award goes to Girls in Panzer. Now, this next one doesn't have a... The next game, and the last one on our list of miscellaneous ones. Oh, okay, Brian. Now the last game in our miscellaneous list is the most anticipated game of 2019. There isn't a first screen for it, so it's just going to immediately go to what it is. But I'm just going to go ahead and go to it. And yeah, so most anticipated game of 2019. I also didn't do a best VR section, though I probably should have, even though I didn't play that much VR, except for like Beat Saber and VR chat, but that's another thing for another day. So, most anticipated game of 2019 is none other than Kingdom Hearts 3 and ZOE2 VR. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. After and you want to know, okay, here's the thing. Kingdom Hearts 3 being the most anticipated game of 2019 is a twofold. Why? Number one, because I want to see what happens. Number two, are they actually going to try and finish this series? Are they actually going to make any attempt to finish this series in any way, shape, or form? The answer is probably not, but I'd love to see them try. That's why I'm excited. Oh yeah, no, you're right. But for me, it's the most anticipated. So, the answer is no. Oh, I'm pretty certain of that too. So, yeah. All right, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed the little miscellaneous sections. We'll probably add more in like next year or something, but I think that was a good amount of just miscellaneous stuff. So, yeah. So, all right, chat. I think it's time. I think it is time to move on to number one. Number one, huh? Does everyone in here already know what this is going to be? Literally no clue. So number one, what a game. And like I said, we're gonna be explaining what it is. We're gonna be explaining and going on and figuring out exactly why this game deserved a number one over number two. So, without further ado, for those who don't know, number one is not actually number one. This is the worst game of the year, and it goes to 7 fucking Deadly Sins. This is the absolute most piece of fucking shit game that I have ever fucking played. That was this year. I bought this game at a whopping $60 and played it for 5 hours. And then I never touched it again. This game is an abomination that should never be touched. Don't buy this game. Don't get this game. Yes, 7 Deadly Sins has a game, and it's garbage. Don't even try. Yes, it was a AAA game cost. That is also why it is worst game of the year. Also, just for those who haven't caught it yet, I'm playing a song from the 7 Deadly Sins OST at 0.5 speed. I think it's well-deserving. Who made it? Oh boy. I thought it fit the aesthetic for this game that it brought. The joy and pain. Oh shit. It got me good, dude. Alright. Alright, away with you. Alright, everybody. Alright. Now it is officially time for the real number one. It's for real this time. We're for real this time. We're for real this time. Don't worry. No fake games, we're good. Made by Bandai Namco, or yeah, it was published by Bandai Namco. I don't know who actually made it. No fakesies, no fakesies. So again, it was a fight. It was 100% a fight, but most of you probably already know what it is. For those who don't, this game was definitely the most fun in terms of gameplay that I have had all this year. In terms of any game that I've played. While again, it lacked the story elements that number 2 had, it made up for it in the pure enjoyment that I had in terms of playing it. And that game is none other than God of War. Gears of War! Now let me say, the reason that God of War beat Red Dead Redemption 2 is for 2 things. Number 1, I enjoyed the gameplay more in God of War than in Red Dead Redemption 2. And the reason is because I am a big fantasy fan. I loved just the hard-hitting gameplay and just Kratos being able to slam fuckers around all day. I could do that I just loved that. I love that. It helped God of War that it was the style that it is and that it did really well. No? So, but here's the thing. Red Dead Redemption 2 completely outclasses God of War in terms of story. It 100% does. But my personal enjoyment is heavily weighed into this. I personally enjoyed the actual gameplay loop and playing God of War as opposed to Red Dead Redemption 2. I loved the cinematic elements of Red Dead Redemption 2, but God of War's gameplay, and it's just the feeling that you have when you chuck that axe at a dude and you rush at him and you punch his fucking lights out and rip him into 2 is amazing. And I love that. I absolutely love that. So, it really makes you feel like you're a guy. That is 100% the truth. What Brian just said. 100%. And that is why God of War is my number 1 game of 2018. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? So, I very much enjoyed it. But, oh, by the way, I don't think we're done yet, though. I think we have one more thing. Hang on. Let me check. Wait. I think we do. Hey, what do you guys got? Oh, what's this? I guess we have a final announcement to make here. So, hang on a second. What's going on, guys? Do we know what's going on? I'm not quite sure. Hang on. Let me check here. Hello? Excuse me? Uh-oh. Guys, she's here. She's made it! For those who are not aware, this is Violet. And she's going to be doing a little bit of a takeover. Look forward to changes to the entire stream in the coming months. 2019 is going to be a good year. And I hope that you are all there to be there with me for it, because it's going to be quite a ride. I have plans. Change is happening. Don't worry, Nep. You'll still be there in spirit. I hope you all enjoyed the top 10 games of 2018 from me. There's no more stream today. We are done. That is it. Violet's taking over. That's it. I will see you all on Monday for more Spooderman.